Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from AnthonysCustoms, and for this review, we are looking at the new Marvel Legends Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Nebula figure. Now this is from the second wave of Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel Legends for 2017, so they should just be hitting stores. They are available at Big Bad Toy Store currently, and they should be popping up fairly soon at your regular retail. Now, this figure is one that looked like it was going to be pretty awful from the photos they showed, mostly just because they had it really disjointed and it wasn't posed very well at all and just looked awful. But it wasn't going to look like that at retail, hopefully, and it turns out it doesn't. It actually looks really good, and I was actually pretty excited to open it because I saw that it looked pretty good in the package, and it does look pretty good out of the package. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This figure stands just about 16 centimeters, which makes it pretty close to 6¼ inches. And it's covered in appropriate paint, which is not something we see on a regular basis, and it looks really, really good. We have most of it molded in this darker purple. We have this lighter purple that's metallic on top. We have lots of silver and black spots throughout. The boots are a different color. Her arm is clearly a different color, though it's molded. It looks nice. We do have purple paint on there, which matches the molded paint or molded plastic pretty well. More of that lighter purple. The blue they chose to use for her skin has the tiniest bit of metallic in it. It looks fantastic. It's nice and saturated, looks really clean. And then we have this really clean paint job on her blue parts, which is just fantastic. It's done so nicely. Such clean line work. Now I know that's probably tampography, which means it's going to be clean, but it does line up and it is where it's supposed to be for the most part. You can see on the top of her head, it's not perfectly centered around that purple thing, but it's pretty damn close, and I think it looks really, really nice. Now, in terms of the sculpt, obviously it's digitally sculpted because we have tons of texture and detail in there from the movie, and it looks fantastic. I would say the face likeness could be a tiny bit better, but it is definitely passable. I wouldn't recognize that to be the actress without somebody telling me, but it's still, I mean, if I didn't already know, but it's definitely good enough, and if you don't need it to be spot on for the actress, then it's definitely fine for the character, so that's pretty good. We do have two accessories. We have her pistol. Not the best sculpt on the pistol. It's a little soft in general, but it does have some nice detail on it still, and it has some paintwork, so that's pretty cool. And then we have her interchangeable arm, the one with just a little claw hand, and that swaps out at the elbow. And as far as articulation goes, that arm has nothing but the elbow hinge. So here's an issue that I have with this figure. I got it out and I'm like, hey, this looks pretty good. Let me just loosen up all the joints, make sure everything works. And pretty much as soon as I went to move it, the foot snapped right off. So I have no foot connected to my figure. And that peg is one that I don't want to bother replacing. So I'm going to end up replacing the whole figure and just returning the broken one because that is baloney. I shouldn't have to deal with broken figures that have basic joints like that. It's just not cool. And it's not like I mishandle my figures. I mean, I kind of know what I'm doing. So it's a bummer. And I contacted Hasbro. I'm like, hey, Hasbro, your stuff broke, so I need a replacement. And they said, yeah, we may not have any, so go ahead and send it in, and we'll replace it if we can. And if not, we'll just give you a different Marvel Legends figure instead. I'm like, no, that's not going to work, so I'll just go try to find one at a store. Anywho, their customer service is garbage. You guys should check my tweets about that. I've actually posted the screenshot so you can see how bad it actually is. But regardless of that breakage, I'm going to hope that it's just an isolated incident and just review the figure beyond that because it is pretty nice otherwise. Look at this. Look at that head and neck and collarbone and shoulder and chest situation. What do you notice? I'll tell you what you notice. You notice that the head is on the neck properly. They did it. Finally did it. Maybe they only do it on movie figures, I don't know, but the neck does not have a giant gap and the head is not sitting crazy high on top of it like a lollipop. We don't have that, so that is fantastic. The articulation still works. You can lean the head forward, you can lean the head back, no problem at all. You can rotate it side to side. It's the way it should be. I don't know why they can't do that more often. We do have our standard shoulder hinge, although there's no bicep swivel, so it's really just a swivel hinge for the shoulder. Despite the shirt having kind of a sleeve, you can get the arm almost all the way out to the side. It will rotate all the way around, but of course that sleeve will get in the way. This arm falls out way too easily. Hopefully, again, that's just an isolated incident, but I guess that's better than being too tight. You can just kind of push it in and it'll work. But you get a little bit better than 90 out of that elbow. Unfortunately, without a bicep swivel, you need to use this swivel right here. But in doing so, it makes the arm come out because of this sculpted elbow pad. So it's a little bit of a bummer that she can't really be posed all that well because of that. But I guess there's not that much of a way around it, as long as they're going to do single jointed elbows anyway. We have a swivel for the wrist and a hinge, so that's pretty cool. And either hand can hold her gun, by the way. Her diaphragm joint is mostly just going to give you a swivel. It doesn't have that much. You can't go back at all. You can only go forward the tiniest bit. Side to side, again, negligible. So it's really just going to be a swivel. You have a floating belt piece, which is kind of nice. It hides that other waist twist, which is weird that we got two waist twists essentially, but you have it and it's hidden, so that's okay. For the hips, you can bring the leg pretty much all the way forward, so that's good. It goes back a little bit also, so that's pretty good. Going out to the side, yeah, about 45, pretty standard. Thigh swivels work just fine. Knee joint works just fine. You get the full 180, so that's good. And then the ankle, totally frozen on this side also. And I'm not even going to try to do anything with it because the other one broke without me trying to do much at all, and it still broke. So you do get your ankle rocker, and it comes off at a pretty weird angle, but that's the way it goes. So yeah, it's covered in paint and sculpted really nicely. Articulation's pretty limited in some cases, and you may end up with a broken ankle, but otherwise, this figure does look really, really nice, and I'm happy to add it to the collection. It's just such a vibrant and saturated and colorful character and figure that it's a really nice one to have, so I definitely have to recommend it. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff, so make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and in the meantime, keep collecting.